You know that feeling, right? You're in a meeting, someone turns to you and asks for feedback, or you're asked to give a quick toast, and your mind just goes completely blank. We have all been there. Well, today we're going to dive into a framework that will help you handle literally any of those spontaneous speaking situations with a whole lot more confidence and clarity.
But first, let's do a quick challenge just to get our brains warmed up. Take a look at this sentence. Super simple. All you gotta do is read it and count how many times you see the letter F. Go ahead, I'll give you a second. Just keep that number in your head.
Okay, you got your number? If you counted 3, you're in good company. That's what most people get. But the correct answer is actually 6. Pretty wild, right? Most of us totally miss the F in the word of, and it's in there 3 times. Our brain just kind of skips right over it.
And that little exercise is the perfect example of what we're talking about today. When it comes to being a better communicator, sometimes the most powerful changes are the small, simple shifts that are hiding in plain sight. We just have to know where to look.
So, what exactly are we focusing on here? Let's be really clear. We are not talking about that big keynote speech you've got 3 weeks to prepare for. That's a whole different ballgame.
No, we're talking about spontaneous speaking. This is the stuff that makes up like 90% of our communication at work and in life. It's being asked for your opinion out of the blue, it's handling a tough question after a presentation, it's being asked to introduce somebody with no warning. It's way more common, and for most of us, way more terrifying.
And before we can even think about what we're gonna say, we have to deal with the giant elephant in the room, that wave of panic that just hijacks our brain. Step 1 is always managing the anxiety.
And look, if you feel that fear, you are so not alone. A whopping 85% of people say they get nervous about public speaking. In fact, some studies show it ranks right up there with our other biggest fears, like terrorism or having our identity stolen. So yeah, that feeling, it's completely normal.
But here's the game-changing idea. The goal wasn't to get rid of anxiety. It's actually useful. Think of it as energy. It's your body telling you, hey, pay attention. This thing you're about to do, it matters. So the key isn't to crush it, it's to manage it.
So how do we do that? 3 really simple things. First, when you feel it coming on, the shaky hands, the butterflies, just greet it. Literally say to yourself, oh, hello, anxiety. This must be important. Just by acknowledging it, you stop it from spiraling out of control. Second, reframe it. This isn't a performance, it's just a conversation. You're just talking to people. And third, get into the present moment. Worry lives in the future, so pull yourself back to right now. A great little trick is to count backward from 100 by 7s in your head. It forces your brain to focus on something else and calms you down.
Okay, so we've got our anxiety in a good place. We're managing it. Now we can move on to an actionable method for what to do in the moment. It's just 4 steps.
And the first and honestly the biggest obstacle in any spontaneous speaking situation is us. It's our own brain. We put all this crazy pressure on ourselves to say something brilliant and witty and profound, and that pressure is exactly what makes us freeze. So the solution is going to sound totally backwards, but trust me, it works. You have to give yourself permission to be boring. That's right. Dare to be dull. The second you take that pressure off, you free up all this mental bandwidth to just be clear. And ironically, that's usually when the brilliant ideas actually show up.
Step 2 is all about a crucial mindset shift. When someone asks you a question, especially a tough one, your gut reaction might be to see it as a threat, right? A challenge to your authority. But what if you saw it as something else entirely?
This is where you reframe the whole interaction. It's not a threat, it's an opportunity to explain something better, an opportunity to learn what's really on your audience's mind, an opportunity to connect. When you stop seeing it as a fight, your whole vibe changes from defensive to collaborative.
Now this next one sounds so obvious, but it's where almost everyone messes up. As someone's asking a question, we only listen to the first few words before our brain starts racing, trying to cook up the perfect answer. We're so busy planning our response that we don't even really hear the full question.
There's this fantastic saying from the world of improv comedy that just nails this idea. Don't just do something, stand there. Before you jump in, just pause, take a breath, really listen. That moment of silence doesn't make you look weak, it makes you look confident. Plus, you'll actually answer the question they asked.
All right, you've gotten out of your own head, you're seeing this moment as an opportunity, you've slowed down and actually listened. Now what? Now you need a roadmap to organize your thoughts so they come out making sense. You need a structure.
And using a structure isn't just a nice little tip, it is a total game changer. Research actually shows that our brains can understand and remember structured information up to 40% better. A structure basically gives your audience a mental filing cabinet for your ideas, making everything you say way clearer and more memorable.
So here are 2 all-purpose structures that are absolute gold. You can use them for almost anything. If you need to be persuasive, use this: problem, solution, benefit. Super simple. Here's the problem, here's my solution, and here's why it's a great idea. If you just need to be informative, like answering a question, use what, so what, now what. First, here's the main point. Second, here's why it matters. And third, here's what we do next. These frameworks are your best friends in a pinch.
So let's pull this all together. What are the big ideas you need to walk away with? Let's pack your new toolkit for speaking on the spot.
I want you to remember these 4 little phrases. Think of them as your new rules for communication. First, dare to be dull, because that's how you get out of your own way. Second, approach every question with a yes and attitude, seeing it as an opportunity. Third, don't just do something, stand there. Listen first, always. And finally, remember that structure sets you free. It's not a cage, it's the launch pad for confidence. When you manage your anxiety and you have these tools in your back pocket, you can turn any moment of panic into a moment of real presence and impact. So I'll leave you with this question. What conversation are you going to have today that you'll see not as a challenge, but as an opportunity?